I left my job 9 years ago, and in that time, I've built a business which has built more than $100 million. But in this video, I'm not going to tell you how you can achieve that, or I'm going to tell you a big success story or anything like that. I'm going to do the opposite. I'm going to tell you the dark side and the real truth of building a business which essentially has done 9 figures in revenue. Because even though this was my dream, even though when I was working and the dream was to quit the 9 to 5 and live the life and, become this successful entrepreneur, I didn't realize all the other stuff that comes with it. Because the whole point of kind of starting your own business and going down this journey is that you're in control, you do what you want and all that stuff. But what I'm saying is you're still very out of control. Similarly, as someone will say to you, right, when you have a job, people will say to you, you can't control what's going on, or, you make the company the money, it doesn't come to you, etc. The truth is, I found you still end up in a very similar situation, even the situation that I'm in, because your success is predicated still on other people. And that's the fundamentally truth. And even if you don't have an agency, let's say you have a business, you may have a product that's killing it, but something changes in the industry, in the economy, which makes your thing not work anymore. So that risk actually still remains. And maybe that's my naivety and none of you guys ever think that. But I used to think that if I started my own business, I'll be in control, which is how I'll be able to become successful. Because when you're in your job, you're constrained by your role and the money you can earn. But in reality, you just end up in another type of constraint where there's market constraints or there's client constraints. And that's been like a massive mental thing. To be like, you're almost back in a very similar position, but now with a lot more stakeholders and you have more things that are, at stake. But it's tough. The other thing that's very tough, very, very, very tough is, as the years go on and you have a business, it honestly feels like you do the same thing again and again and again. I've had the exact same conversation with my team members and with clients like hundreds of times, to the point that I almost feel like a robot at times. That's like, again, chasing this dream of becoming this successful entrepreneur, but really, I keep having the same conversations. And you're like, I've said this thing like 19 times, that we must do things in this way. Or I'm sitting with a client and I'm giving them the same advice that I've given 17 other clients in the past 12 months. So it's tough because it's not as adventurous as you think it would be, as I thought it would be. You ultimately are just doing very similar things again and again for a very long period of time. And the irony of it is, and that's how ultimately you become successful because you get good at it, I get it. But the feeling of doing that sucks. Like, if I could give you perspective from the other side of the table of running a successful business, the amount of stuff they have to do again and again and again, that's the same. Like, it is so boring, which is crazy because maybe it sounds, it comes with the territory of making money and I still have to wake up and make sure I do it because I want to make the money and I want the business to be a success. But mentally it gets tough because who wants to do the same thing again and again? It's like watching the same movie for the 19th time. I'm sure you're going to get bored of it, right? And that's what it really feels like. Even your business model starts to feel very repetitive because when you provide like the same service or sell the same products again and again and again, it becomes like, you lose the enthusiasm in doing that. To be honest, at Gemflow, one of the reasons I kind of started Gemflow Ventures and we started investing in businesses because I had to find another way to get myself into new business models, new categories, etc., etc. So we started investing in we built a productivity brand, a nootropic-based supplement business for brain health because it's a whole new territory. I've had to learn about things I didn't know about. So I found myself chasing new exciting things within the business. Some people like to obviously trying to sell the business and then move into new things. With me, I decided to kind of structure it that I'm still building value within one place, but now chasing new ideas and new things to keep things interesting for me. I guess, again, I didn't think I would ever need to do that because I just thought you build a business, you make the money and basically it's going to be great. I didn't realize I'll be in a position where I have to almost be now redoing what I did, i.e. almost like starting new businesses to keep it going. And it's one of the ways I guess I'm trying to overcome this feeling of feeling not complacent, but bored and doing the same things again and again. That, okay, let me invest in stuff, open it up and try to get myself into new things because that's a way for me to keep evolving. And I guess another point which I've massively struggled with and is that clients are always right. And you have to swallow your ego, your pride. Even though you are right, you have to sit there and be like, yes, yeah, we will do what you're saying. When you just know that's not the thing they should be doing. When you know that's the thing that's actually going to not make their thing a success. But you still have to kind of just do it. And you may think, no, that's not true. I don't do that. I'm going to help clients the best, or, I'm going to do what's right. Yes, of course. Trust me. I've been doing this for a very long time. After all that's said and done, you are still always going to conform to what the client wants, because you're going to get into a position where you just want to get the work done, client is happy, so you can just move on to the next thing. Because the more you're trying to micro-engineer, fix something, make someone see your point of view, the more harder and harder and harder it gets. And that's just the truth, right? And that's just with a lot of relationships in life, that at some point there has to be compromise. And I guess in the game that I'm in, I didn't realize I'll have to compromise this much. You're honestly compromising all the time, that you start questioning. I started this once again. I started a business to follow my instinctive thing, but now I'm not following my instinctive thing because of so and so and so and so. And, and I guess the point of making this video as a whole is to give you the real insight of mentally to prepare yourself of what it's actually like when you're trying to do a high growth, high return, business. When you're trying to build something which is going to build real value, which is my business, and you're going to make a big impact and you're going to make a lot of money and you can do a lot of cool projects. I do everything from SaaS to building products to running an agency to creating content to doing PR and events. Every type of thing you can possibly think of when it comes to online business, we do it at Gemflow. With that being said though, I just didn't think how much of this other stuff mentally you have to go through to be able to do all this stuff. And hopefully, from that, you get some relief, you get some, you can relate to what I'm saying. And all I'm saying from the other side of the table is that embrace it. It's the norm. It's never going to be calm. It's never going to be you have amazing clients or products and it's just going to be working so amazingly and you're just loving it, and you're just going to be growing year on year, and you just have this freedom. You just easily turn your phone off for 2 weeks and it's just going to be amazing. It's none of that's true. I have not once done that. I don't think I can be away from my phone from even a day, because there's so many important things that I am across which are vital to the business, which are material to the business, and I didn't work this hard to mess that up. Because that's what you naturally start feeling because your business is like your child and you don't want to leave your child unattended. Even though you probably believe someone that tells you work 4 hours a week, even though you believe someone that tells you you'll hire people and you move away from it, even though someone will tell you all this stuff, I don't know anyone else that's running a business that's the size of mine, that's making content, that can give you real life, what it's like on the other side, who's actually doing this stuff. And that's what I say. So the truth is, it's hard. It's hard running a business. But that being said, if you are aware and self-aware enough to know the things that I'm saying in this video, you will then come through the other side, because that's the make or break, basically. It's a very fine line of people that burn out, people that break down, people that are unable to get through the stuff that I'm talking about. But if you do, you are one of the ones that can survive and build a big business and then can sell that business and change your family's life and whatever else. So yeah, just want to make this video to share some of my thoughts on this topic. Just because, including myself, every video, every piece of content is just talking about success. When in reality, a lot of us are constantly, self-inflicting, self-thinking, just constantly figuring out what to do next, how to do it, am I doing it right, and everything else that comes with it. So anyway, hopefully that's been helpful. I'll see you in the next video.